Pacific Rim 2 is coming out soon. Will John Boyega be stacking some paper with the Jaegers? This is Movie Sense. What do you think?
Very nice.
Yeah?
Very creative. Very cringeworthy.
There you go.
Like always.
It rhymed a little bit. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Movie Sense. I'm your host, DJ Selby. I got with me as almost always, Justin Mua. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys, Justin Moy. You can catch me on Instagram with that name.
You know what? Hold up real quick. I gotta say something, Justin. You're looking a little flush. Why is that? Why is that, buddy?
Allergies coming in, guys. You know, feeling a little bit red today.
It couldn't have been from our previous episode of the Gentleman Reviews.
No, it was the allergies. The whiskey flower probably got
Well, at the very least, check out the Gentleman Reviews. That's a new episode that we had last week. Check it out. And speaking of last week, we got Mark Flores.
Hey guys, yesterday's news and last week's news, Mark Flores. You can find me on Instagram. Details down below.
Heck yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, guys, we're talking about Pacific Rim today, in case you didn't figure that out based off the little flow.
There we go.
Pacific Rim 2 is coming out real soon. Is this going to be a box office hit or is it going to be a box office flop? I mean, going based off the past, we had Pacific Rim came out 2013, directed by Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yep.
We had Charlie Hunnam and Idris Elba. Just a great duo right there as far as acting goes. What did you think of the first one, Jess?
I thought it was very entertaining. Now, granted, it had a lot of criticism towards the movie, but I mean, come on, it's robots and monsters fighting against each other. I mean, like,
yes.
Really, you know, so definitely I loved it. Very enjoyable. I'm a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro, so I already liked it.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro did amazing work with Pacific Rim. We actually had a spotlight series on Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
So if you guys want to check that out, we talked about Pacific Rim and Guillermo del Toro. What did you think of the first one?
The best part about Pacific Rim is that the movie just came out of nowhere, but it had a certain name to it that a lot of people can appeal to, a lot of people can relate to. Guillermo del Toro. What I enjoyed most about this movie is that Guillermo del Toro took his first venture into sci-fi, like I mentioned in the previous Guillermo del Toro Spotlight series on Movie Sense.
Right.
Cheap plug. Anyway.
It'll be in the description below.
You're able to see that with a great cast and a great premise to a mech movie, that Guillermo del Toro was able to make it anew, make a standard mech fighting monsters movies, or even just generally a monster movie. Make it anew.
Right, yeah. I mean, the first one, it came out of nowhere, like you said. You know, this was a movie that, when it came out opening weekend, grossed around 37 million, almost 38 million. Worldwide, though, well, let's go back. Gross total U.S., it was 101 million, almost 102 mil. Worldwide, 411, and that was attributed mostly to China. I mean, this thing was a huge worldwide box office hit. Makes sense, dude. It's robots, it's monsters.
Those damn kaijus, man.
Those kaijus, you know? So this movie did really great worldwide, did okay domestically, but it had good footwork, you know? It was able to run for a while, and people ended up really liking it word of mouth. So because this movie had great word of mouth, well, Pacific Rim 2, now people are aware, it's on their radar. But here's the thing, guys. It's a different director. It's not Guillermo del Toro. Steven S. DeKnight. He has limited experience with big franchise movies. I feel like this is going to be a type of franchise movie because I know we're going to see, based on the success of this movie, I know we're going to see another Pacific Rim movie, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got a different director. We don't got Guillermo del Toro. He's a producer in this movie. Yeah. So, what do you think that says right there, just hearing that different director?
So, I'm glad that Guillermo del Toro still has at least some
input?
Some input within the movie, even though he's producing it, you know? So, the vision isn't totally lost. It's still there.
Yeah.
When the money's involved as a producer, you feel that you are entitled to some input. So, with Guillermo del Toro's resume as being a now a critically acclaimed director,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Oscar winner.
Can go in and be like, look, bro, this is how you're going to shoot this scene.
Yep.
And he can go in and out saying that. I'm not saying that he's going to do that. I'm not saying that he did it for this movie, but I'm saying with the clout he has now, he might be able to pull some strings as he did before, because obviously that they shot this movie a little after The Shape of Water.
Yeah, so going off of what you said, Definitely we can take, for example, the movie Mama, which directed by
Andy Muschietti.
Yeah, Andy Muschietti, and it was also produced by Guillermo del Toro, and you can see how, Del Toro's vision wasn't
completely lost.
It wasn't completely lost. You
Yeah.
still get a feel of Del Toro's, monster type of aesthetics inside the movie itself.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that with Pacific Rim 2 also.
I mean, based off the trailer, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. But I mean, are others?
There's a lot of factors that come into play when you have this movie now. So, like I mentioned earlier, you have an Academy Award-winning director behind the production of the movie. Mm-hmm. You also have John Boyega, who's behind a very acclaimed franchise in Star Wars. But you also have the box office that it led in with the first movie. So, from what I can assume, I'm going to take the gross U.S. box office and I'm going to take that as even, which means they're automatically going to get that. And they're just going to progress from there. I'm thinking this movie at least has to make 140 to about 200 million in the box office.
I think it could do 140 easily.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, the
domestically we're saying.
The things that lead me to not think of it as a flop, I mean, it's just this movie already has. The first movie was incredible, and it got passed around by word of mouth, which is probably the most organic and the most beneficial to get by any movie, because the movie itself, Pacific Rim, when we saw the trailers, we were like, well, this is kind of like how Cloverfield was.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we saw the giant monster, but then the word of mouth started going.
Yes, the word of mouth.
You trust your friend to tell you, go see Pacific Rim. And who better to trust than someone who probably watches movies and thinks it's good,
And everyone who was a part of that first movie should take pride in that. I mean, because of the word of mouth. I mean, that's a very... that's like just the ultimate compliment right there, because you're being successful based off of real reactions, based off what people really felt towards this film. So then bottom line, we're just gonna get to brass tacks here, guys. Bottom line, I'm putting you on the spot, Justin. Do you think it's going to be a box office hit?
Yeah, so definitely. Is it going to be a box office hit? I'm going to say not so much domestically, but definitely in China. I feel like it's going to be
worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide outside of America. It's going to be a box office hit, definitely.
What about you, Mark? What do you think? In brass tacks, let's hear it.
I'm thinking, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take its U.S. box office at about 101 million and exceed over that, probably in the 120 to 200 plus range. I mean, it's not going to reach to 200, but over 120, under 200 mil.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think it will be successful worldwide, like Justin said. I'm worried that it's not going to be a great movie because we do have a different director behind it, and I don't know how much involved Guillermo del Toro is going to be.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, the first movie was amazing. If you haven't seen the first Pacific Rim, watch it.
Please do.
Watch that movie, rent it, check it out. You're going to love it.
It's just a very entertaining film.
It's an entertaining and it's a well-done story. It's a great story.
Yeah, it's a movie where you just want to keep just have fun watching it.
Dude, this is the Transformers movie I wish I got when I watched Transformers, because I was so disappointed in how freaking shallow and how underdeveloped those characters were. This is way better.
It's more about the robots.
It's about the robots.
In the first Pacific Rim versus how the Transformers was.
The story's amazing. The visual's amazing. I mean, that's what we're here for. So, I mean, box office hit, box office flop. We're yet to see what's going to happen. I'm hoping that it's a great flick. That's what I just hope for. And if it's a great flick, it earns the money for that work it's put in.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Any other inputs? Looking good?
We're all good.
We're good. All right, man. So that was another episode of Movie Sense, and we just did Pacific Rim 2. Box office hit or box office flop. We'll find out, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and Mark, you know what to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another great episode of Movie Sense. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on social media via Instagram at This Is Movie Sense, and make sure to use the hashtag This Is Movie Sense.
This is Movie Sense. Bye, guys. We love you.
See you guys later.